Hello, YouTube. Slave Warrior here with a discussion. But before I get to the actual card that I'd like to talk about, I'm just going to quickly state that, as you guys should know, I play baseball, and the junior varsity season has ended, and we went undefeated, which is really cool because it's the first time that our school has had an undefeated JV team. But I still do have, like I said, I play on 2 teams, so I still have one more season to go. But I thought I'd just let you guys know that, because that's a big part of my life, baseball. So I thought I'd let you guys know that our team did finish undefeated this season. We were 16-0, so that was pretty nice. All right. Also, I guess I'll just get to this. Stellarknight Triveil. I don't know. I don't even know what the archetype name is. I mean, all the cards here say Tellarknight and Stellarknight, but like on DevPro it says like Satellarknight, and DN it said that, and then it got changed to Stellarknight. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure like Stellarknight makes more sense than Satellarknight, but I don't know how they're gonna translate it. So anyway, this card's name is apparently Stellarknight Triveil, and it has an effect. It's an Xyz monster, rank 4, light warrior, 2100 attack and 2500 defense. So just like to point out, the first thing I'd like to point out is that it is a rank 4 that requires 3 that has 2100 attack. So keep that in mind as I read its effect, okay? Because its effect is really powerful, and unfortunately the way our Yu-Gi-Oh community handles powerful effects, this card has been labeled broken by the people in my Facebook group, specifically one guy, and I'm gonna go over this card's effect with you guys quick, and then I'm gonna tell you guys the conversation that we had. I'm not gonna read it, but I'm gonna give you guys an overview of the points that we made, summarize it real fast, and I want to know your guys' opinion on this card and who was right in the points that we brought up in this discussion here on Facebook. But anyway, it reads 3 level 4 Tellarknight monsters. So it takes Tellarknights. You can't just use anything. It's not generic. Alright? It's Tellarknights. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn this card is special summoned, except Tellarknight monsters. So that's another restriction right there. When this card is Xyz summoned, return all other cards on the field to the hand. It's not all cards your opponent controls, it's all cards on the field to the hand. So if you have any other extra deck monsters on the field, they're going to go back to the extra deck, as will your opponents. You'll get rid of their back row. It's good. It's a very good effect. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Alright, that's pretty good because, but you will be loading your opponent's hand up if the first effect goes off. It's a mandatory effect. So your opponent may or may not have a really big hand when you decide to send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Anyway, if this card is sent to the graveyard while it has Xyz material, you can target 1 Tellarknight monster in the graveyard, special summon the target. So that's just like the other one. That when it is sent to the graveyard, you get another Tellarknight. But yeah, anyway, so that's Stellarknight Triveil's effect. Triveil, whatever. So yeah, anyway, this person in this Facebook group that I belong to, that all of you should be in after the video that I made yesterday, his response was that it's broken. He stated that it's good because you just bounce their field and drop your hand. He means detach to discard, and then after he dies, he leaves another card on the field, and you get to go +2. So after Stellarknight dies, you're supposed to summon a Stellarknight from your graveyard, and assuming it hasn't activated its effect, I gotta go over this Stellarknight's effects quick, but yeah. They all get effects when they're summoned by any means, so and they can all only be used once per turn. Here, let me just go through them quick, okay? So I guess that'll be kind of necessary for you to understand our points that we made. Okay, so we've got Satellarknight Deneb. So I guess that's it. The Xyz ones are the Stellarknights. I don't know, is this one? Stellarknight, yeah, okay. Satellarknight Deneb. This one's the searcher. You can only use the effect of Satellarknight Deneb once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can add a Tellarknight monster from your deck to your hand, except Satellarknight Deneb. Vega. Special summon a Tellarknight from your hand. So basically, they can all only use their effects once per turn. They're all when they're summoned by any means, and they cannot do whatever their effect is to themselves. So I'm just going to read you the basic effect. So yeah, add one to your hand from your deck to your hand, special summon from the hand, special summon from the graveyard, inflict 1,000 damage, so that one has nothing to do with other cards. Send a Stellarknight from your deck to your graveyard. And then there are other XCs. This is generic, 3 level 4s. When this card is Xyz material, when you normal / special summon a monster, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, then target one card in the field, destroy that card. If this card is sent, then the same thing. You can special summon a Stellarknight from your hand or deck. Wait, oh, that one's hand or deck. That one's graveyard. Okay, that's different. I didn't even notice that. So yeah, this one's hand or deck when it's sent to the graveyard. This one's graveyard. So okay. So what we've got here is a little combo that the guy that I was talking to on Facebook mentioned, the one who claimed this card was broken, this one here. Because this card says, when your normal special summon a monster, your opponent cannot activate cards effects. So, what will happen is, if you have this on the field and then you summon Triveil, if you have this on the field and then you summon Triveil, your opponent won't be able to respond to the summon of this. How's that worded? When you normal / special summon a monster, yeah, so they could still use Solemn Warning or Black Horn of Heaven, but that's one of the points that you brought up. That's a good point, you know, that's a really good combo, but the thing is, this will get bounced as well, you know, so you'll be left with extra Triveil. But yeah, so the point that I brought up is that it only has 2100 attack for 3 and then rank 4, and I also brought up all the main decked answers we have in the meta right now. I mean, yes, this card is very good, and you know this argument can be made for a lot of different cards. And I support, you know, the idea that using the fact that it has a counter, you know what I mean, that you can use something against it, isn't a good reason that it's not broken. But in this card's case, the responses are just so common. I mean, many decks would consider them obligatory. You have to play these cards. You know, you can stop its effect with, you know, I mean, assuming this isn't on the field, okay, but I mean that's going to be really hard because they both require 3 anyway. So, assuming this card is already on the field, Triveil can be stopped with Fiendish Chain, Effect Veiler, Black Horn of Heaven, Solemn Warning, Traptrix, Traptrix Nightmare, and Breakthrough Skill. Every single one of those cards is being mained in decks today. Every single one. Like, even Black Horn of Heaven, which, you know, a lot of people wouldn't even dare main deck in the past, is being main decked now. So, I mean, he said another thing that makes it broken is that, you know, when it's sent to the graveyard, you get a special summon from your graveyard, and then if you haven't activated that card's effect, you get to go plus. You know, this one I'll special summon another one from the graveyard. You can go +2, is what he said. And that just makes it good. That doesn't make it broken. That's another additional effect that's good. It supports the archetype because they get their effects when they're summoned. I mean, another thing is, you can only special summon Stellarknight monsters, so you can't, you know, combo with a tin Goldfish or Kagetokage or have special summoned other monsters that turn. You can't Black Rose the field and then, I mean, not that this deck would ever Black Rose the field, but you know, that's a thing that some decks do these days. They Black Rose the field and go ahead and make their plays. Well, Stellarknight Triveil will not be able to activate its effect during that turn, so you can't even summon it that turn. So you know, of course, you wouldn't be able to activate the effect. So yeah, the idea is that this card makes your opponent go -2 and then makes you go +2, and I think that makes it good. I don't think it makes it broken. I really don't. I really just think it makes it a good card because the cards on their field are going to their hand, the cards in your field are going to your hand. So, you know, that's just my opinion on that point that he made. And like I was saying before about the attacks, what happens is he's going to get to bounce the field, discard 1, attack for 21, and then your opponent will be able to kill it next turn. It doesn't have any protection. I'm not going to get into the traps because then we'll just be talking about if the archetype is broken, not the actual monster. But you know, according to him, you know, you'll be able to make this play and then set a whole bunch of back rolls, and that's the back rows problem, not the Triveil. So yeah, you'll make the Triveil, you'll attack for 21, discard, pass. Your opponent will be able to set all their resources again, they'll have everything back, assuming it wasn't from the extra deck. I mean, there probably will be one from the extra deck, but that's what makes Triveil good. That's what makes it a good card. So yeah, then they'll have their out to Triveil probably. They'll have their Dark Hole or whatever, you know, their whatever was set. They might have had a Fiendish Chain set that they couldn't activate because you had this in the field. Well, now it'll be live again the next turn. So when he detaches to discard. Also, when it has to be sent to the graveyard while it has XD's material, so your opponent won't be able to make you go -3 by having this detach all 3 materials and then be able to go to the graveyard and get a plus. I'm not sure. Is this one the same thing? If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, yeah. See, so this one's different because that's what summons from your hand or deck, and it doesn't have to have material. So that's another drawback that Triveil has. I mean, there are plenty of drawbacks to this card. I'm not saying it's not good. This is a very, very strong card. It's an excellent card for the archetype, but I don't think it's going to break them. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with my OCG tournament results, but this card isn't out yet in the OCG, so you know that can't have anything to do with this card being broken. That's another thing. Like I said in my Master Dark Law video about that card not being broken, it's not out yet. It hasn't broken any meta yet. You can't say it's broken. You can say it's good, and that's what I'm saying. It's a good card. So yeah, in the conversation that we had, he basically said that, you know, my counter argument was irrelevant because it was just talking about, you know, things that are responses to him, his summon, his effect, Triveil's. And the thing that I had to say in response to that was that there's just so many responses that are being main decked right now. And I know I've stated that before, but I just like to emphasize because I really want to make this point that, you know, if there are enough responses and people are main decking them, and it's not like a change they have to make their decks, it's something that's already in their decks that's going to be good against this card, then, you know, that's a logical reason to say this card isn't the best or isn't unstoppable. You know, it's definitely stoppable, and its effect is, you know, if you maintain your resources well against a Stellarknight player, Satellarknight, whatever, you should be able to have an answer for when the Triveil comes out once it gets released. So, I don't know. Do you guys think this card is broken? Do you guys think this card is good at least? I mean, I think it's definitely good. I think it has a really strong effect. You know, it's got, you know, return all other cards in the field to the hand. I mean, that's pretty powerful, and if it was generic, I'm sure a lot of decks would play it, but, you know, it's not. So that's another thing. It's not generic. You know, every deck can't play it. That's the reason that, you know, you shouldn't be saying how broken this card is. I'm sorry. I like the word good. I dislike the word broken. Okay, so tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Tell me, do you think its first effect is going to be extremely powerful? Do you think its second effect is too good for what the first effect is? Do you think Stellarknights or Satellarknights or whatever they're called, do you think that is going to be a strong archetype once it's released in the TCG? Have you tested it on DN and Dev Pro? Has it been working out for you? I'd like to know what you guys think. I'd like to know what you guys think about this card, Delteros, when comboed with Triveil. But the big question today is, do you think Triveil is broken? Overpowered is a better word, because we really can't judge if it's broken or not because it hasn't broken any meta yet. Alright, I'm going to back to listen to Ghost Stories by Coldplay. I'll see you guys.